Okay, the first thing you'll notice is how uh, evenly they are separated. It is almost the same distance from the Great Pyramid to Tassili, the Great Pyramid to Zimbabwe, Great Pyramid to Stonehenge, and to the Iron Pillar in New Delhi, India. This even spacing is just remarkable. This in Alice Springs, Australia, may have slid down uh, a little bit, but okay, if you can see the three that form almost a perfect triangle in Africa, to Scilly, there are cave paintings in the middle of the Sahara Desert. There are these cave paintings with flora and fauna. Like, that's memories of what the land was, because like I said, they were nuked. Not long before, it was a lush land. So was Australia, a lush land, and something made the outback desolation. And these were ancient nukes because, like I said, we found green glass in these areas. Well, Tassili, they have cave paintings of people swimming and strange oddities of round heads and people wearing things with modern things, belt zippers, and packs like these are the Geiger counters. We think these may be aliens. No, these were the people just coming in, testing this devastation of what just happened, of this nuking, and that's what's painted on the walls. How does the paint last thousands of years? Yet it did. So that's silly. Okay, just in Zimbabwe, forming this triangle, this is where the black race came from. Zimbabwe means house of stones. We're not taught that the ancient Africans moved great stones. They did, just like the Russians. We're not taught Russians moved great weights. They did. There are dolmens. There are things that look like giant igloos with just one little opening, and they're made of massive stones all over Russia and other areas too. They were bomb shelters. And like I said, who knew that the Russians, that the Africans could move these great weights like these other places on the map? In Alice Springs, Australia, you may have seen Ayers Rock. It's one of the features. It's that red mesa. That's the largest rock on Earth. It's a giant pillar. It's a carrot. We're just seeing the top, and it's magnetic. And that's the point, that all these places are magnetic. The Great Pyramid is magnetic. Easter Island, ship's compasses point to Easter Island. Ayers Rock is magnetic and it vibrates, and there's ancient ruins around it, and there's this old legends of dream time, of what happened 60,000 years ago. Like, it's not what has happened since there. So there were ancient ruins in Australia. Doesn't make sense. Easter Island. Now here's the important point. Three of these points were completely unknown. Like I said, I've had these published in magazines back in the 70s. The Yonaguni was discovered in 85. Amazon ruins in 2002, and I thought I had nothing. I'll talk about this in a minute. But Yonaguni, I mentioned the Asians came from the Pacific. Well, I think they were given this after their age failed. I think they were given this settlement and a part of this Atlantean system, which was the next age. That was the age of Indian. And they controlled that because of, we have underwater Yonaguni, and it's in this place. There's also the real Devil's Triangle is here, not in Bermuda, and there's something strange in this area, and that's the main point of the whole continent is not there anymore. And we have some strange disappearances with the Bermuda Triangle. This could be a transportation system that's out of whack now. It's not functioning now, but planes are disappearing because we can do that. We can actually have a transport system and beam, like you see on Star Trek, beam somewhere. And this is what I think happened to many of the places. Also, many of these places, this is the main one, but then there are smaller Stonehenges. There's a main pyramid and smaller pyramids around it. There's a main Zimbabwe stone construction, and then there are smaller Zimbabwe's, just like the Mayan constructions. The power I believe this electromagnetic power was fed into the main pyramid or structure and then transmitted wirelessly to these smaller structures so they can be used the very same way like we have our power system, and it's stepped down. It's stepped down. The transformers step it down so it could be used locally. And that's what I think all these, this pattern that you see, and then grids within grids. So in 2002, I thought there was nothing in Brazil where they thought there was no ancient culture. In the Amazon, they have found intelligent settlements here, grids within grids, cities, plazas, bridges. They thought nothing was there, and under all these ruins, just like in Central America, we found in the Amazon a culture that should not be there. It fits my map. And the last one is an Indian image that Google Earth, where someone sent me this, and I thought I had, 12 out of 13. We know that this area was once above water. There's physical evidence that the Mid-Atlantic Rift was above water. Now it's not, but it's not there anymore. But I thought I had nothing here. An image of an Indian that you have to see from the air, like a Nazca picture that you have to see from a high up, and an Indian. Remember, the Indians didn't walk over from Russia. They landed high in the Andes Mountains with sophisticated spacecraft and didn't have any hieroglyphs because they didn't need hieroglyphs. Later came the Mayas, and that's when they had to learn how to write with the greatest hieroglyphic writing. It was the most sophisticated. So everything is backwards. But this all fits a pattern. And like I said, I thought I had nothing here, and I had it. So what this means is, I've known about this since the 70s, and people were just finding out these other points. I knew the X marks the spot. Oh, and the thing about the Russian, I heard from a Russian called Vlad Pakimov, and he told me, this is what I haven't mentioned, in the Sayan Mountains of Russia, they found a stone city and a sphinx. I don't have a good picture of it, but I have a distant picture of a sphinx on the. So here's Stone City, and I asked him, Vlad, is this anywhere near my site for Russia? And he said, exactly. So this is X marks the spot. How did I know this spot, and this spot, and the archaeologists did not? So I'm not famous, but I think I have the truth. I think this was all connected. What is this network? It was, the power is electrical power, electromagnetic power that can be used to power paradise.
Fantastic.